coming back to is conscious muscle flexion. Not just the muscle flexion that comes from bearing weight, where the muscles engage and flex to hold our body upright, but an isometric kind of action. So as we move into pose, we create this strengthening component, this contraction. In time, it becomes really balanced. The strength balances really well with the mobility or flexibility. I sometimes get nervous using flexibility because people think yoga is all about flexibility, but passive stretching can actually kind of wreak havoc in our muscle fibers and our joints. So active mobility builds strength and stability around the joint itself, so we have more functional strength and mobility versus hyperflexibility or hypertonic muscles, or like overactive muscles. So keep that in mind. The goal is to find your pose, and you'll hear me cue things like draw the front ribs in, flex the muscles of your legs, tone your glutes. And so really thinking about that, little by little, you're going to build those neural connections, those neural pathways. And here's the beautiful thing is that Yoga for Strength doesn't just happen on Tuesday nights when we have the good fortune of working together. You're going to find yourself in your office, at the grocery store, at your home, with a little bit more poise, a little bit more tone or hug of the muscle. And what that does is it makes our skeletal system more buoyant. So the mobility is important, but we want that tone to draw us in and up in a sense. And so that's what we're doing while we do some conditioning as well. But let it be a cognitive conditioning just as much as a physical, okay? As always, listen to your body. Don't ever, you'll hear me teach in stages. You can stay here, or you can come here, or you can come here, and on it goes. Really listen to that. For my own practice, there are days that maybe I went to stage 4 yesterday, but today I'm like, stage 2 is better for me. And it's not a better or worse thing, it's a relative thing, day to day, right? And so really listen to your body. You're gonna get a lot more out of it than just mindlessly pumping iron, if you will, okay? So let's start on our backs, knees bent, feet to the ground. And just for just for the sake of your own space, I did mute you both again. That way, in case somebody comes in the room, you don't have to worry. Relax your jaw, teeth, and tongue. Here we are together again on Tuesday, March 12th, 2020. March 12th, 2020. Never has been before, never will be again, and we're here together. Grateful to be with you, both Jaya and Lynn on the other side of the screen, and my husband and Tara on this side of the screen. I love how we continue to connect, even though we have to social distance for everyone's safety. We're still connecting. So as we move through this time together, let this be about connecting with yourself. Oftentimes we can connect on deeper levels with loved ones, friends, partners, parents, children, when we have a deeper relationship with self. So even though we're together and we're all celebrating that, let this next hour be about you. Listening to your body, paying attention to the subtle things, exploring a new way of showing up or engaging in your physical asana practice. I'm here to support you every step of the way. Utilize me as a resource and tool. Ask questions. But again, pay attention to what level is best for you today, because it's all relative. Draw your right knee into your chest, stretch your left leg straight out, and just take a couple deep breaths here. So we begin to tune into this idea of yoga for strength here. So you can grab hold of the right knee if you'd like and gently hug it in. Notice the tone of your left leg. Is it just laying there on the ground? Can you reach through the left knee, extend through the ball of the big toe? Hi, Laurel. Can you engage engage that left leg. So this idea of yoga for strength, instead of I only do legs when I'm in chair pose, how can I make every pose about muscle contraction? Breathe in, breathe out. On your inhalation, open your right knee, keep your left leg straight and strong. Inhale, exhale. One more deep breath in, out. Bring the right knee center and then cross it. Go for a supine twist. Take your right knee across your body and take a gentle approach to your supine twist here. Relax your jaw. The right knee's coming over, but can you keep your left leg straight and strong? This idea of muscle energy. Draw your right shoulder blade back towards your mat as you turn your head to the right. Breathe laterally along the right side of your body. So from right hip to right shoulder, inhale. Make that space longer. Exhale, give into the twist. Inhale from right hip to shoulder, lengthen. Exhale, receive the twist. One more, lateral, right, inhale, long. Exhale, twist. On your inhale, come center. And as you exhale, switch your legs, please. Draw your left knee in. I'm a big fan of wiggling and shifting and adjusting within my pose to make it just right. So I encourage you to do the same. Hugging our left knee in now. Reach through the right leg. Keep it active. You can even push the right heel to your mat slightly and try to engage your right glute. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more deep inhale. Exhale. Open your left knee to the side as you inhale. Keep the right leg straight and strong. Keep your pelvis neutral, just the left leg opens. Breathe in, out, inhale, exhale. One more breath in and out. Bring your left knee center. Take your left leg across, going for that spinal twist. Left leg coming across. Turn your gaze to the left. Breathe here. And again, you may find the desire to wiggle, shift, adjust, shimmy. That's when your practice really comes alive. It begins to pulsate. From your left hip to your left shoulder, lateral, left lateral. Inhale, make it long. Exhale, receive the twist. Left hip to shoulder. Inhale, make the side body long. Exhale, receive the twist. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, receive. Come onto your back as you inhale. Take both feet to your mat, center your hips, and now draw both knees into your chest as you exhale. Inhale, and as you exhale, hug the thighs in. Breathe in, soften a little bit. As you exhale, hug. You might begin to create a gentle rock from sit bones to shoulders. Inhale, exhale, rock. Maybe you begin to come up on the inhale, rock back slowly on the exhale. Come up on the sit bones, inhale, rock back, exhale. So a little playfulness here, that's it. Just make sure that you're not going to hit anything with your head. You make a gentle curve with the spine, like the letter C, and do a little seesaw. And we're going to find our way into boat Navasana and balance. Up onto the sit bones. You can start with the tips of your toes touching your mat. Try to lift and lengthen through your spine. So you want a neutral spine here. It's very common we get into these challenging poses and we compensate in our body to get into the pose. I'd rather you have good calibration and then in time deepen the expression of the pose. So tips of the toes can be down. You can even take your fingertips behind you. Lift your chest, shoulder blades back. Lift your sternum, broaden your collarbones. So really squeeze shoulders back, bring your legs up. Inhale. Exhale, variation, toes stay down. Lift through the spine, lift through your chest. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, 1 more breath in and out. Come up to a seated position for a moment, sit tall. Breathe here. So in your seated position, engage your core and lengthen through your spine, as if you were in this boat pose again, right? Not here compensating, but calibrating and refining. Engage your core, lengthen and lift through the chest. Tone here, arms up, inhale. Take your right hand down as you exhale. I'm gonna mirror. Yep, okay, good. Left arm up, inhale. Reach it across as you exhale. As you inhale, left lateral from shoulder to hip. Make it long, inhale. Exhale, try to straighten your left arm if you can. If you need to reduce the angle, do so. You're gonna get into these muscle pathways. Breathe in, breathe out. 1 more inhale. Exhale, come center. So sit tall, broaden collarbones. Right arm up, inhale. Take it across as you exhale. From right shoulder to hip, make it long, lengthen. Inhale. Exhale. That right arm straight. Breathe in. And we're active in the right hand. Breathe out. This idea of yoga for strength. Even my left hand is active. Inhale. Exhale. Come up right, inhale. Exhale. Take your hands behind you. From here, we're gonna lower onto our forearms. Push your palms, lift your chest, but draw your belly button towards the navel. This may be your pose, go no further. If available, you can take the tips of the toes down, or you can extend the legs at a V. Avoid the low back dumping. Lift through your chest. Firm the muscles of your legs. Inhale. Exhale, bring your legs close together and squeeze them together. This is going to engage the midline of your body. This is our adductors, AD. 2 more breaths in, out, in, out. Press up to a seated position and relax for a moment. Find that length in your spine, that tone in the abdomen. Engage the legs as if they were squeezing together. So we tone up that midline, that inner line, that inner seam of our legs. 1 more inhale. Exhale, we go back in. Take your forearms down. Walk your elbows closer together. So Jaya, this is gonna get a little bit into that pec stretch and engaging the upper back. So lift your chest through, squeeze your shoulders back, palms press. And you can play with the tips of the toes down, legs extended, heels. There's so much to do here, so much creativity. If you choose, extend. This time we're gonna open the legs wide. This is abduction, and now we feel the outline, outer line of our legs lighting up, maybe even our outer glutes. Tone, tone, tone. Belly button in, lift your chest. If you've got 3 more breaths, go for it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. 1 more breath in. Breathe out, press to a seated position. Whew. So that action of abduction in a seated position, it's like drawing our thighs, the outer thigh towards the earth and sitting taller. So we can find this action on the inner and outer thigh, even when we're not doing poses like straddling the legs or squeezing them together. Let's come to hands and knees. Come to hands and knees. Open your 10 fingers. Press the base of your index to the ground. Action in the hands. This is called Hasta Bandha, hand bind, to engage. Press all 10 toenails to the earth. And this is this idea of muscle energy, even if the pose doesn't demand it. Engage your thighs as if you were going to squeeze them together. Simultaneously engage the thighs as if you were going to take them apart. inner and outer thigh lighting up. This will take time to understand, but when it does, it's gonna land. On your inhale, lift your chest, sit bones and gaze. As you exhale, round, press hips to heels. See if you can keep your legs active. Breathe in, come up and open. Breathe out, round and press back. Keep the hands and feet active. 3 more. Inhale. No, it's not real. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to hands and knees as you inhale. Watch me here. So this idea of yoga for strength. This is a child's pose, but we can be gentle in our child's pose, or we can show up a little stronger, a little fiercer. Watch me. So I can hang out in my child's pose, or I can use it as an opportunity to strengthen my arms, my shoulders, and open my chest. So instead of passive arms, we're going to take active arms. When you're ready, press back to child's pose. Active arms. Push your palms to your mat. So much so that you'll notice the forearm lifting away from your mat. Take your shoulder blades onto your back as you press, press, press for 3. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come to hands and knees. Exhale here. We're coming into our first downward facing dog, so be creative, explore it. Curl your toes, lift your hips, and you can take your feet a little wider than your hips for the initial down dog. So you stay here. Take about 5 to 10 breaths to breathe in your down dog if that's appropriate for you. Gently stretch out your hamstrings, the backs of your glutes, your calves, your heels. One more deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, come back to hands and knees, open knee child's pose, and this time, do let your arms rest. So we become more creative about our practice. So we may apply more action in our child's pose, Balasana, to warm up the shoulders in preparation for downward facing dog. And then we may choose relaxation in the upper arms while in child's pose to recover from downward facing dog. So there's no linear approach to our practice. It's really creative and multifaceted. One more breath in and out. Come to hands and knees. From here, we're going to come into a forearm plank. So you can take your forearms down, keep your hips over your knees to start. This may be your pose, go no further. Open the 10 fingers, press your full palm to the ground. If you choose, maybe you begin to walk your knees back so the upper body becomes more the shape of a plank pose. This may be your pose, go no further. Some of you may be comfortable lifting your knees. Really squeeze your glutes, press your hands to the earth. For 3, inhale. Exhale, navel to the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in and out. Take your knees to the earth. Let your belly come to the earth. Come into Sphinx pose. In your Sphinx pose, 10 fingers stay open. Push the palms down, pull the shoulders and elbows back. In your Sphinx pose, keep your legs active. So extend through your knees, tone your glutes, and push your 10 toenails to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath in and out. Relax. Stack your palms, rest your forehead. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in and out. Hands to the ground alongside your rib cage. So palms to the earth, we're preparing for cobra. Take your shoulders back and your elbows in. Tops of the feet press. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale. Really lift with the muscles of your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, curl your toes under. We're still in our cobra pose. We're gonna press to plank. You can take the knees down. In fact, let's all take the knees down. As you exhale, knees down, press to modified plank, and then come into your downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale. Come back into plank pose. Breathe in. Remember, you can always take your knees down. The closer the knees come to the wrist, the more you will moderate the pose. Stay here and breathe, or work to bring your forearms down once again. Tone your core, tone your glutes. Inhale. Exhale. So notice how much plank relies on core action. Take that even deeper. Draw ribs in. Draw navel to spine. We're going to come back to plank pose. Take your hands to the earth and press up. Downward facing dog as you inhale, or child's pose, or any other pose that you desire. If down dog is a recovery pose for you, feel free to stay here. 3 more breaths. In your down dog, keep the arms strong, keep your legs strong. 1 more breath in and out. We'll all find our way back into down dog. We're going to be coming to standing. Look to the front of your mat. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, or jump your feet forward. Take a bent knee forward fold to start. Let your head and neck hang. Imagine you could relax your upper body so much so that you create a release in the thoracic spine. That's where the rib cage attaches to the spine. 1 more deep breath in and out. Fingertips to the ground. Now take your shoulders onto your back towards your hips. Look forward as you inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, take your hands to your hips, your elbows to the sky. You're going to need to fix this. Inhale, rise, 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 come to standing. And then find yourself into Tadasana as you exhale. Good. Can you take it further back? All right, my husband's going to get me a little further back, so hopefully we can see more of me. So stand in Tadasana here for a moment. So when I explore Tadasana, to me, it's anatomical neutral that we're in. Unlock your knees, 10 toes forward. Firm the muscles of your legs and glutes. Tone your core as if you were in boat pose or in that forearm plank. So core is active. Take your shoulders onto your back, lift your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. You're going to step back into a wide-legged position. And you can step whichever leg back, just as long as you have a good orientation to your screen or whatever you need to be as successful as possible in your practice. So wide-legged stance here. Unlock your knees, firm the muscles of your legs, lift your chest, tone your core. All right? We're gonna be doing a forward fold, but we're gonna tap into the strength of this. Lynn, one of my thoughts is just listen to your hips. You may need to utilize your hands, right? There'll be a hands-free option, but pay attention that it doesn't cause strain anywhere in your body. Variation, hands to the thighs, the shins, or to the ground. But try to find your action there. All right, so this may be your pose, go no further. Hands at the hips, shoulders, and elbows back. Some of you may be comfortable clasping the hands behind the back. Stay here. Key thing with clasping the hands behind our back, especially in a yoga for strength, you stay here. If I break at my wrist and I lock at my elbows, that's not strength, that's compensation. And I'm wearing out my elbows, I'm wearing out my wrist, and I'm propelling my shoulder forward. Yoga for strength, draw your palms together and unlock your elbows. Roll your triceps towards each other. Maintain that action. If you fatigue, relax, come back in, but make it about integrity versus compensation. Breathe in, lift your arms, your chest, your gaze. As you exhale, bow forward. Pause halfway. Unlock your knees. Firm the muscles of your legs. So I'm lifting my kneecaps with my quadricep muscles. Breathe in, breathe out, go a little bit deeper. Pause. The body's perpendicular, the upper body, parallel to the earth. That's a great goal. If you need to moderate it, that's a great goal as well. Gently stretch arms away from the back, lift your chest, but tap into the strength of this pose variation. How can you recreate this in your wide-legged forward fold every time, instead of just dumping into it? Maintain this action, breathe in, breathe out, bow, 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 but don't lose the action. And you may begin to stretch your arms further away from your back. That's all up to you. Breathe in, breathe out. Lean the weight into the balls of the foot just a little bit more. Firm the muscles of your legs. Inhale, exhale. Imagine you were trying to take your upper thighs away from each other while hugging your shins towards each other. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath. Maintain the action. Inhale, exhale. Release your hands to the earth. Gaze forward, spine long. Now with the support of our arms. So the arms take some of the work out, but we can maintain the action and the musculature of our body. So firm through the arms, shoulder blades on the back. So I draw my arm bone back. Spin side to side as you exhale, bend your right knee. Travel through center, inhale, exhale, bend the left knee. So not full skandasana, just some gentle movement. Inhale through center, exhale, bend the leg. Inhale through center, exhale, bend the leg. Inhale, and when your right knee bends, let's all meet here. So right knee bends. Firm the muscle of the right leg. Your left leg, actively extend through it. Make the left leg longer energetically. Stretch through your spine. Inhale. Stay here, or right hand can come to the thigh, and you can twist, looking at the ceiling. Exhale. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, twist. Firm the legs. One more inhale. Exhale, come center slowly. Remember, feel free to wiggle, shift, adjust your pose, adapt your pose at any time. Come onto the fingertips, spine long, breathe in. Firm the muscles of your legs as if your hands were away from the ground. As you exhale, left knee bends. Left knee bending towards the second toe, stretch and straighten, lengthen through the right leg. Lift through your chest, inhale. Stay here, or left hand to the thigh, exhale. You can gently turn to your left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale. Come center as you inhale. As you exhale, heel toe or jump the feet together. So we find ourselves in another bent knee forward fold, so let your knees bend. Let your head hang like a rag doll, but this time keep your shoulder blades on your back. For 3, inhale, exhale. 2, inhale, exhale. Last breath in and out. Look forward as you inhale. Bend your knees deeply as you exhale, hands to the thighs and extend. Utkatasana, fierce pose here. Once again, lift through your chest. Think cobra. So lift. Meanwhile, think boat action in the core. Draw your ribs in. Flex the muscles of your legs as if you had muscle pants on, as if you put on a pair of extra muscles. Really engage muscle to bone. Think of your thighs moving away, your shins moving towards each other, and light up the musculature on the inner and outer line of your legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay here or hands can clasp once again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sit a little deeper if available, if appropriate. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths, lady. Flex. Muscle to bone. Breathe in. Out. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Rise. Reach your arms overhead. Exhale. Tadasana. And then relax and put any fires out that you need to. Notice the physical phenomena you feel in your body from your practice. Feel free to hydrate, do whatever you need to, but consciously connect with, oh, I feel heat in my thighs, or I feel tingling in my feet and ankles. All of this is informing what you're doing, why you're on your mat tonight. All right, we're going to take a wide-legged stance once again, hands to your hips, wide-legged please. So we are going to be going into warrior pose. Pivot your right toes out. All right, so from here, pivot your left toes in. Square your hips to the right knee and bend. There we go. That left foot may need to sidestep slightly. That's your back foot. Firm the muscles of your legs here. Swivel your hips to face the front of your mat. Lift your inner left thigh. That's your back thigh. Adjust your footing as needed. Bend into your right knee. Draw your front ribs in. Point your tailbone down. Lift and lengthen through the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg is back. Your left arm can hook. Your right hand, so left hand can reach for that right elbow if available, otherwise it just hooks onto the back. Right hand can stay at the hip, you decide. Lengthen your chest, inhale, bend into right knee, exhale. Swivel your hips, front ribs in. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder as you exhale. Flex the muscles of your legs strongly. Lift through your chest and chin, let the neck be soft. Inhale. Exhale, try to keep your shoulders even versus dumping into maybe that right shoulder. So try to keep the shoulders even. Breathe in, out, inhale, exhale. On your inhalation, bring your head center slowly. Exhale, go a little deeper. Arms overhead, inhale if available. If arms overhead doesn't work, take hands to the heart or the hips. Square your hips to the right foot. Reach through your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands to the hips. Now straighten your right leg. Keep your hips squared. Breathe in. Breathe out, hinge forward, hands to the shin or to a block or any other kind of prop you have in your home or to the earth. Avoid locking your knees. Keep the knees neutral, the legs engaged. As you bow forward, keep your Chest lifted as if in cow pose. So that engages the muscles in our back. Yoga for strength, that's what we're here for tonight. One more inhale, exhale. You can make your way into downward facing dog from here, but you do have the option to lift your right leg. As you exhale, bend the knee and step your right leg back into down dog, or lift it high for three-legged down dog. Right leg straight and strong, engage through the arms. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more breath in and out. Take your right foot to the floor. Inhale here, exhale deeply. So you have the option for a vinyasa, which is going to add a little heat. That's our plank to the ground, into cobra, into down dog. You could also stay in down dog, or you could rest in child's pose. Make the decision that is best for you. Inhale, and again, either stay in down dog or child's pose for vinyasa. Exhale, plank pose, lower to the earth. Inhale, cobra or up dog or sphinx. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job, ladies. I love seeing the decision making. I love you making decisions for yourself. Remember, make this about you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And coming forward. Look forward, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale. Walk, step, or jump your feet forward. Spine long inhale, half forward fold. Bow as you exhale. Bend your knees deeply. Readjust your footing as needed. Hands to your thighs and come on up for Utkatasana, fierce pose. So earlier I mentioned we're after contraction of the muscles beyond the weight bearing. When your knees are bent like this, they're weight bearing. If the muscles were to give way, we tumble to the ground. So the muscles, the autonomic nervous system is like, okay, Laurel's weight bearing, engage the muscles so she doesn't crash down to the ground. So the muscles will contract automatically. But take your hands to your thighs and now consciously, with your mind, contract deeper. So this is the power of mind. I can literally, through my will, flex the muscles deeper. I can tone my hamstrings, my quads, my glutes, among other things. Maintain this tone as you come to standing Tadasana, so don't lose it. Maintain that tone. So this is the muscle contraction that we're after when we work together in our Yoga for Strength class. Breathe in, breathe out, now relax, and shake it out, notice the difference. So we get to relax, the muscle softens a little bit, but we're reconditioning the muscle to neurologically hold more tone. All right, wide-legged stance. We're doing the same sequence of the Warrior One on the second side. So wide-legged stance. This time it's your left toes that pivot forward. Your right toes pivot forward, the heel back. And you take a side step with that back foot. So it's like your feet are on railroad tracks. Right? So they're hip distance apart. You're not on a tightrope, you're on the railroad tracks, the two sides. Inhale. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Adjust your footing as needed. Remember that wiggling is when your practice comes alive. So we play with the experiment from earlier. We go, oh, our front leg is in Utkatasana position. This is a chair position that the front leg is in. Muscle, it's bearing weight, so the muscles are engaged. Take it deeper, flex, tone muscle to bone. Engage that back leg without locking the knee. Your back hip, internally rotate it so your inner right thigh lifts to the ceiling. This helps square the hips off a little bit more. Bend deep, exhale. Front ribs draw in, spine gets long, inhale. Exhale, reach your arms overhead, inhale. Stretch. As you exhale, lower your arms, right arm. Right arm hooks behind. That's it, ladies. And then it can grab hold of the crook of the left elbow, left palm open and active, or it can just hook onto the back, left hand at the hip. Flex the muscles of your legs. Draw your shoulder blades back as if your hands were clasped behind you. Lift your chest, lift your chin, inhale. Left ear to the left shoulder, exhale. Breathe in. Out. Keep your body strong. Keep your neck and face soft. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in and out. Bring your head center. Inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, rise the arm, lift the arms, raise them overhead. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift and open your chest, but draw the front ribs in. So we're learning these checks and balances. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your hips, straighten your left leg. Pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Lift through your chest, inhale. Square your hips off, exhale. Hinge forward. Then take your fingertips to the ground, to the shin, to a block, or to any prop that you have available. Lengthen through your chest. So remember, ladies, lift your chest, broaden your collarbone. Yoga for strength. Continue to engage the muscles in your back body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Even the hands are pressing. One more inhale. Exhale. So remember, down dog or three-legged dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Down dog or three-legged down dog. So left leg can step back or left leg can lift high. Inhale. Exhale. Press your chest to the thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Breathe out. Down dog. Decision-making time. You can stay in your down dog and breathe. You can move into child's pose and rest, or you can step into the fire a little bit and move through vinyasa. So again, stay in down dog or child's pose, it's up to you. If you would like to move through vinyasa, breathe in. Breathe out. Plank pose, lower to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Rest here. So take about 3 to 5 breaths in your down dog, and then come to rest in a child's pose. So when we engage strength from the inside out, right? So when we contract the muscles versus adding weight to, like the hand for bicep curls, when we consciously engage these muscles, when we engage from the inside out, oftentimes there's something much sweeter and much more rewarding about the relaxation. Rest here. A healthy muscle knows how to fully engage and how to fully relax. When ready, sit up into Vajrasana. We've got one more thing to play with until we cool off. Let me demonstrate, and then you can play with some options. And what we'll do is we'll progress in it in our physical practice. So you have the options: a slightly shorter down dog with bent knees, to pivot your heels and lift your opposite hands. So the direction my knees go is the hand that lifts. All right. So let's try that. Let's come into a short down dog briefly. Short down dog, so the hands are closer to the feet. That's what I mean by that. Bend your knees, engage your core, push the earth away. Heels to your right, lift your left hand. Nice, ladies. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels to your left, lift your right hand. Keep your core core and legs active. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels right, lift left. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels left, lift right. Inhale, center. Exhale, rest. That seemed to go good. It seemed you had something to work with. One thing I should have pointed out, you can do this with both hands down. Just play with pivoting the legs, okay? We're gonna do that one more time. I like that one because it turns on more of the musculature of our body. And this is a great way to learn our capacity for muscle energy. It's hard to know how to engage a muscle if we've never felt it before, but once you feel it, it's easier to come back to. So watch me again, please. You have that same option to keep both hands down and just play with swiveling the legs or lifting the hand as you swivel. Or, and this is one that I am confident you all would be able to get after, a couple sessions of trying it. You swivel, you lift, the inside leg extends. That's the lower leg, and it comes center. Swivel, lift, inside leg. Usually what gets us on that one is it's a new skill set, right? It's like rubbing your belly and patting your head, so your brain kind of short circuits the first few times. So find something that works for you. Don't strain your body, but be courageous, because I believe in you. All right, here we go. Short down dog, meaning hands closer to the feet, knees bent. So we'll play. Drop heels right, keep both hands down. This is an option. Inhale, center, drop heels left, keep both hands down. Inhale, center, you can drop heels, lift the left hand. Inhale, center. Heels drop, right hand lifts. Inhale, center. If you want to add the leg, heels drop, inside leg lifts. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels drop, inside leg lifts. Inhale, center. One more set. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Knees down. Let's come onto our bellies. Now to get started with the real class. That was just warm up. Rest here for a moment. And of course, I'm kidding. Gently rock your hips side to side. This rocking of your pelvis can be soothing to the hip socket. If any of this is causing pain, just relax. We all have our own unique bodies. Our bodies have their own unique stories. But as we rock our pelvis side to side, if that's appropriate, the hips are getting a little bit of rotation. And your lumbar spine is getting a little bit of movement side to side. Slowly bring your pelvis center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe. On your inhalation, come up onto your forearms. So this is meant to be more cooling. So this may be a nice, I want to open up the belly, the front of the thighs. This may be adequate for you. This may be more than enough. Stay here and breathe. If available, left foot draws in. Left hand grabs hold. And I've got a hitchhiker thumb if I can grab the inside of my foot, my thumb out. I keep my thighs hugging close together, so I don't want my left leg splaying out to the side. Stay here and breathe, or you can begin to bend your left elbow, drawing the left foot in. All of this is up to you. Draw your front ribs in slightly to protect your low back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in and out. Slowly release. Same thing, second side. Feel free to shift, shimmy, wiggle, adjust. Tops of your feet press, chest lift. Inhale. Exhale, right foot draws in. Right hand, hitchhiker thumb, grabs hold. Keep the legs hugging together. A gentle tone in your glutes, lift in your chest, especially out of this left shoulder. Right, so the arm that's supporting us, avoid collapsing into the left arm, lift out of it. Breathe in, stay here, or breathe out, draw the right foot in. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder blades on your back, lift, inhale. Exhale. One more breath in and out, release. Stack your palms, rest your forehead once again. You can do a little wiggle of the pelvis. And from here, find your way onto your back. You can just roll over if you like. Rolling over onto your back, knees bent, feet to the ground. Bent, feet to the ground, relax your chest, chin, and jaw. From here, you can take your arms straight out of the shoulders like the letter T. Inhale. Exhale, take your knees right, look left. We're gonna windshield wiper the legs. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees left, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees right, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, right, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left, look right. Inhale, center. Thread the needle. Take your right ankle to your left thigh. This may be your pose, go no further. Keep your right foot flexed. If you desire, draw your left thigh in and interlace fingers behind your left leg. Flex both of your feet to keep your knees stable. Keep your sit bone or your tailbone pressing towards the earth. You can stay here or hug the left thigh in while the right elbow presses into the right thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale. Take both feet back to the ground. Take a breath or two here. Again, any movement serves you. Left ankle to your right thigh. Left ankle to the right thigh. This may be your pose. Left foot flexed. If you desire, right thigh comes in. Interlace fingers behind your thigh. Keep both feet flexed. Breathe in. Out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Out. In. Exhale. Last breath in. As you exhale, take both feet to the ground. One more twist. Lift your hips. This is tricky. Hips. Your hips. Your hips lift and go left. So it's the hips that move left. Your knees go right. This just aligns your pelvis with the shoulder girdles a little bit more.
your jaw, teeth, and tongue. Breathe here. Slowly come center. Inhale. Center your knees, center your hips. Take a breath or two here. Same thing, second side. So your hips, your pelvis goes right. Your knees go left. Breathe deeply here. Relax your jaw. Soften the features of your face. Relax your neck and tongue. One more breath in. Out. Bring your legs centered. Center your hips. Final pose before our Shavasana. Draw your knees in. Hug your knees in on exhale. Relax on inhale. Hug in on exhale. Relax on inhale. Two more. Exhale, hug. Inhale, last one. Exhale, hug. Inhale, extend both your legs out and down. Bring your arms alongside you. Prepare for Shavasana. Feel free to add anything to indulge yourself, to support yourself in your Shavasana. Any extra props? So cognitively make note that now you are moving into relaxation. But it is your goal to relax your body as deeply as you can. Relax your head. Relax the front of your throat. Relax your jaw, teeth, tongue, gums, your lips, your cheeks. Relax your chin and your cheekbones. Relax the bridge of your nose, your eyebrows, your forehead. Relax your eyes, eyelid, eye socket, eyebrows. Relax the skin of your skull, the base of your head. Relax your neck completely. Relax your neck deeply. Relax your rib cage, your shoulders, your bicep and tricep, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax your spine and your torso. rib cage, belly, your back, your pelvis,
your hips and glutes. Relax your thighs, knees, kneecaps, chin and calf, ankles, feet, and toes. Relax the skin of your body. Notice your breath. Deepen your breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Roll your wrist and your ankles. In your own time and in your own way, stretch, bend, twist, move as you desire, however that may be. Take your time. Find your way to a comfortable curled position on either side of your body and rest. When you're ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. Sit tall as you inhale. Exhale deeply. Extend your arms overhead. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Breathe in, reach. Lift through your spine. Breathe out, lower. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Breathe in. Breathe out, bringing your hands together at heart center. So this idea, yoga for strength, so often the Western mind equates that with physical strength. But I want you to bring to mind the strength of your endurance, the strength of your perseverance, the strength of your love, the strength of your compassion. So with the science of yoga, it's so much more than just what's on the surface level. I bow to the strength in each and every one of you. Namaste. So as always, you know I love the social aspect